You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
But I don't blame them, I blame you! You have to do better.
What is up? How we doing, mob? It is RedBud weekend, and I got Matt Hammer on the 250th birthday. How are you doing, Faster Pastor?
Doing good. Blessed, Chris. Happy to be here. Happy to talk moto. It's always a fun time. I look forward to this like every week. So had a little bit of an off week, so it's fun to get back in the swing of things, do some predictions, talk about RedBud. But yeah, how was your time off?
Good. Started my political channel. I just felt inspired. It's funny because I was doing some political stuff like prior to Trump getting elected, and I went, you know what, I'm good. World's gonna be fine now. I don't got to worry about it. But no, I feel like I don't know. As an American, I feel like I had to do my part and speak up. But yeah, it is what it is. How's your channel doing? I know you got the motocross channel. By the way, everybody, can you go check out Matt's channel? It's absolutely awesome. He's doing some breakdowns, and I'm trying to help my buddy get this moto channel off the ground. And it's not easy with YouTube initially. It really isn't.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all. I just dropped a comment in there so you can see the channel. But yeah, it's always tough. It's tough starting, and the algorithm doesn't really do you any favors when you're starting. You got to just kind of like grind your way up to get the subscribers, and then slowly your reach increases, and then you could start to hit those monetization thresholds. But yeah, that's cool that you started the political channel too. I got to check that out. And yeah, it's always cool seeing your insights and everything. Because I was actually surprised you didn't start a UFC channel yet, because I know you're really big into that.
I did, but I was going in too many different directions. And there's that old thing: you can do a couple things really good, or you can do everything halfway. And I'm like,
Right.
no. And I had a roommate. She was staying with me. She's a UFC fighter, Elise Anderson, and she moved back to Michigan, so I didn't have my plug for information. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just stay with what I'm good at and not go in too many different directions. But politically, I feel like we have to. Like, this is the country, and I like I said, I had kind of focused just on moto, but I'm like, okay, I gotta say something. I don't know how you don't say something. People died to give us the rights to be able to criticize our government and do these things. I need to use them.
Yeah, freedom of speech. So no, it's good you're doing that. I'm happy that you started the channel, you got that going. And it, like you said, it's tough because you don't want to spread yourself too thin, because once you do that, you're not able to do really anything well or exceptional. And this game with YouTube or any social media, once you're a content creator, you understand like it's a grind. You always got to be posting stuff, editing stuff, keeping tabs on the news. So there's always things to do, especially just for one channel, not counting two. Then you give yourself a lot more things. But no, hats off, and I'm excited to check out more of the stuff over there for sure.
Yeah, and Jim, you say you don't see a link or anything. No, I didn't put a link. I'm trying to keep the channels completely separated. But if you just type in "Hard Truth Politics with Cooksey," it'll pop up. Or go to my Instagram. I got a direct link from there. So, how's the music doing, man? I love that song. I really do. I've been putting it on almost everything.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, no, it's doing good. It's actually one of the best performers so far, and it's funny, man, because like when you're making music, like you're just making stuff that you're passionate about. It could have been something that's in the present, or it could be something that you already experienced in your life, and then you're just like writing about that, and it's doing really well though. People are resonating. It's one of the best performers thus far, so it means a lot. And yeah, and thanks Preston too for that comment, for real.
I saw it, and I had to put that up
No,
there.
that's good.
Thank
That's cool.
you.
That's cool. Thanks so much, man. It means the world. God bless you and your journey. I'll be keeping you in prayer. Yeah, it means a lot to me to be able to make this music, especially because it's not typical Christian music at all. You wouldn't even realize it's Christian music, but I want to reach the lost and reach people who wouldn't ever come to God or listen. And music's the medium to do that, especially like through the things I've been through in my life, and especially with my job as a full-time firefighter, just the things I see on a day-to-day basis. It just makes you see things from a very different lens and perspective. But yeah, if you like alternative music, check it out on Spotify. I don't know if we got it in the description below, but we
We
always
do. Didn't I put it in there?
you might have. It's harder for me to see in the program.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the link's in there. If not, I'll put it in after we're done. But I'm pretty sure it's already in there. And I'll tell you what, seeing Preston's message there, I'm like, wow, dude. The fact when you do art like you do, if you can just reach one person, you're like, yes. And you just reached one person. And Preston, I just want to give you, that is not an easy journey, but stick with it.
Amen. Yeah.
Personal excellence, I do my political channel. Personal excellence is what will free us from, all the evils, and, head towards that. And it starts with not drinking yourself or whatever you're doing and putting yourself first. So good for you, Preston.
Yeah, no, it's great. That's awesome, man. Yeah, hats off to you. Like I said, I'll be keeping you in prayer in your journey, and it's really cool to see. So thank you for sharing that. And but yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up and the update and supporting the music and everyone who's listened, everyone who's came over from the channel, from Cooksey. It's really cool. Cooksey's a real one, this guy's awesome. I'm really thankful to be able to do this show with him and spend this time with him. I've saw some. I mean, we'll cover it later on, but uh, you know, I always appreciate being here, Chris, and hopping on the show with you. So
Yeah, and let's get to the first order of business. So, Star Yamaha, wow, they crack me up. They had like 8 guys out there, and it was a joke that they were going to do like Motocross Survivor and sit guys down, and they did. Like Bobby called him in at Paula, and I guess Max Anstey got the text or didn't, ignored it, missed it, but he's like, I'm not going to that meeting, and then he crashes. He's out, and now he's out at Star Yamaha. What do you think of this?
yeah, this is strange. I saw the interview with Vital, and I was really surprised to hear that. There's someone to leave Star Racing early is really strange, Chris. To leave arguably the best team in the 250 class for, I mean, how many years they've been on top, how many championships that they have. It's a very, very weird move. If you were signed there, I don't know why someone would leave. It has to be something underneath the surface that we're not seeing right now, a disagreement. Maybe the results aren't up to par like you talked about. I know in the interview, Max was talking a lot about wanting to do WSX, and Star wasn't going to support his WXX journey, and especially being the defending champion there, that's something that he wants to do, and especially as he starts to get older, that's a great avenue for him because he can support his family doing that. He could follow those races. It's nice being able to travel. So there's a lot of perks for him to do that, but it's still a little bit concerning, Chris, because I don't know where he's going to land. And do you have any ideas or your thoughts on what's going to happen with Max now?
I got some thoughts, but I don't know for sure. So his World Supercross is, I believe he's going to go to Rick Ware Racing.
Okay.
And now Rick Ware Racing, it's not like a regular team where you go over there, ride their equipment and check. They essentially support your travel, support you, and you bring your own bike, or they rent a bike from an existing team. And I'm sure he went to them and said, hey, I'm going to Rick Ware, but I need the Star equipment. And they said no. And he's like, what? No, I really want to do this. And it is weird because the first round is August 8th. It's that off weekend before the final 3 nationals. So I understand where Star's coming from, and they're spread a little thin. But I don't know, man. It's he already got 8 guys out there, and there's like, he's not in a position right now where he's doing good enough to go demanding Star do anything for him. But I'm pretty sure that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And it was questionable whether he was even going to come back next year,
Right.
no matter what. So,
Right. Chris, I have a question I want to ask you too. I caught up on your last show. I think you mentioned something that Bobby was sending a group text out to all the Star riders saying whoever doesn't perform may not have a ride the following weekend or something along those lines. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
yeah, I guess this was at Paula. This is according to Anstey. They sent out a text to all the riders. We're having a meeting at the truck. And that meeting was essentially anyone who doesn't perform is going to get sat down. We're going to bench
Right.
you like a baseball team. A guy's not
Mhm.
performing and goes to the bench. And I think it's crazy. And threat management, I am not a fan of threat management. If you have to threaten your guys to make them perform, you got the wrong guys. This is like, do you think anyone would ever have to tell Jet or Deegan, hey, you perform or you're sitting down? No, they want to perform as bad. There's nobody could make them want it any more than they already do.
Right. And especially with Max, he's been around. He's been around the go around. He's done MX Nations. He's been on so many different teams. I don't know if he needs that type of talk, Chris. Like he probably
He
doesn't want to
doesn't.
hear it, especially being like a father. And he's probably like, yeah, I don't want to hear this. I just want to go and do my thing and I don't have to worry about, am I going to be benched and not be able to race? Another question I have about Max is like, do you know why he elected not to race any nationals this year? Because hasn't he progressed enough from his previous injury that he could have raced? Do you have any information on that as well?
No, he got hurt. He got hurt at the first round at Paula when he cased it and hurt his butt.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he
He
sat out.
was, and
Yeah,
he was like, he had an intensity before he crashed. He knew, he's like, listen, if and he was going at a level where if I'm not going to get benched. I'm going to show them what I did in MXGP. And I think Bobby has a point too, because these guys like Max, Prado, Webb, Malcolm, a lot of these guys don't want to race outdoors and they're just kind of going through the motions. So he said, well, if you're not going to do that, then you're going to get sat down. And it kind of, it triggered him. But no, he went for it, but he got hurt and then he was healing up. And he said he'd even practiced on Monday this week and was planning on racing RedBud before it all fell apart.
right. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I was curious about that because we just haven't seen him in a while, and I didn't realize that injury was that extensive to where he was sitting out that many rounds. I knew something came up with him, but it's difficult to keep up, Chris. You know how it is.
Yes.
After round one, there's always injury list. It's like, all right, this guy has this injury, this guy has that, this just happened, and that's why I always say enjoy the first round at Fox Raceway, enjoy Anaheim 1 because that's the only round you're going to see all the riders. And unfortunately, with our sport, you know how demanding it is and the risk that these guys take.
And I'm willing to bet part of this whole blow up was, he's probably walking around a couple weeks ago. Star says, or Bobby's like, what are you doing? Why aren't you racing? And he's like, well, I need to get healthier. And they probably had a little disagreement too about, well, you're not pushing to get back out there. What's the problem? So I would imagine there's a bunch of those little issues. And I always get a kick out of when somebody says, oh, it's mutual that we split. It's never mutual. It's never mutual. There's always a problem here, there. It's never if it was mutual, you'd finish out the contract like you originally agreed. So no, it's not mutual.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're never going to say either. Like we won't know the story. Maybe later on, if it's on a podcast or something, he may open up, but that might not be till down the line. But Star has so much talent rolling in, Chris. Like they probably think, all right, like it's not that big of a deal if we're missing Max. Look at the lineup that they have and all the young guns coming in, and then they have to perform. And then he already has Cole Davies locked in. He has Deegan. He has quite the lineup already. They just don't have the same amount of dominance right now in 250 outdoors because all these younger guys are starting to establish themselves and starting to overthrow a little bit of some of the people that have been in there a longer time, like Joe and Kitchen and Hammaker.
Yeah. And, we had talked about that lineup and where Chase Sexton's going to go. And I shared with you some stuff and we can't tell you guys names, but I showed my source and the text to Matt. They don't want Chase Sexton over there. Do you still feel as strongly about him going there, Matt?
I'm disappointed. I was hoping that it would be different. And yeah, your source was very, very credible. I will vouch for that 100%. Yeah, it's a bummer. I really want to see Chase over there. I was kind of cheering that on for quite some time because I felt if we put Chase on the right equipment, he can perform with all the speed that he has and all the talent that he has. But now, hearing what I heard, I'm curious what team he will go to because I don't see it like we talked about, and we'll cover this too in the listener questions a little bit later on. But I don't see him. I don't see him staying at Cowie just after everything that happened, all the injury and how he doesn't have faith in the motorcycle. How Dan Fahey was, kind of not being sarcastic about the injury and the crash that Chase had regarding, the engine, the brake tapping. So it just doesn't look good over there for Chase, and I don't see him staying there. If he does stay there, I don't see him ever being the Chase that we previously saw on a KTM or a Honda. So yeah, I'm a bit concerned about him. I hope he can get a ride somewhere that would make sense. And now that you gave and relayed this information, the only place I really would like to see Chase is actually at Club MX now. And the reason I say club is because if he was at club, I think they could rebuild him. Brandon, the guys over there have a really great facility. They can put him on the training program, and he needs a full reset from start, like everything, whatever he was doing, he needs to just put it behind and start fresh and come out like a new guy. And Club MX arguably are the best team at resetting people who've had bad injuries or who have careers that have fallen off and have came back.
But my question is, and he's got a reputation of souring the mood and really being a disruptor of team chemistry and
Sure.
bad attitudes.
Sure.
If you're Club MX, do you want him around? You got such a great chemistry. Do you want that guy around all your young dudes?
I think Brandon and the team over there can make those adjustments that he needs. Right. This would take time. This would take having the right coaches come in, the right therapists come in. There's a lot of moving parts here, but the ceiling is very high because when else is like potentially Club MX could get a rider like Chase Sexton's speed.
Yeah, it's true. It would be the highest profile rider they ever got. And I just got to give a shout out. Drop Bear, he's pretty much part of the show these days. So Drop Bear, nice to see you checking in. You're a little late to work. But no, yeah, it would be the highest profile rider for Sexton, but I don't know, man. I could see that working because if he really wants the Yamaha, and assuming they stay Yamaha, because I believe they are, because Husqvarna is going over to whatchamacallit, to the Redlands Yamaha team. They're going to Husqvarna. Oh, and I do have confirmation, breaking news. It's official. Absolutely. The Coonans are coming next year, not this year, next year. 2027, we will have both Sasha and Coonan full-time here.
That's so cool. I'm really excited for that. And now what you heard about that's going to be for Supercross as well, right?
Yeah, they're not coming over just for outdoors. They're coming over for the whole deal. So, yeah, and when we look at Chase, now KTM's full. Husqvarna's going away. Ducati's full. Well, Ducati kind of has a spot. They got one of the two spots, but I'm pretty sure they don't have the money and he doesn't want to go there. And I don't know that they want him. Suzuki, the same issue with why I told you Star doesn't want him of chemistry. They got such a good thing. I don't know that will go. I really think, but now let's say he stays at Kawasaki, which is probably the only option here is staying there. How do you repair that relationship if you're Chase?
I don't think you can unless you take accountability. He needs to take full accountability for his actions, the things that he said, the things that he's done, because he can't control what happened to him, but he can control how he responds. And his attitude has been unacceptable. I get that you're not happy on the machine. I get that there's problems there, but you're getting paid millions of dollars to race a motorcycle, which so many people would love to have. Maybe the bike's not perfect. Maybe you're not able to ride the speed that you were able to ride, but you have to make adjustments and be like, all right, this is what I got. I need to make this work. And if you can't do that, you need to step away. But he can't keep making excuses, Chris. It's been time and time again, and it's your reputation. It's something that's very valuable, and his reputation right now is really going down the dumps for all the teams that he switched and having problems and issues and arguably leaving some of the best 450 teams in the sport as well. When we look at Honda from all the championships that they've won, and KTM, now it's kind of spreading where people don't want him. So it's going to be a harder find for his agent to get him a ride if he steps away from Cowie. And if he does step away from Cowie and get a new ride, it's not even going to be close to the amount in his contract that he has with Kawasaki.
Yeah, so if I got to be his manager or agent, I would sit him down and like have an intervention and be like, dude, what are you doing? You have to make this work. They're willing to do whatever you want on the bike. If you don't like it, let's change it. Let's fix it. You got 3 years to ride this out. You do not publicly trash them. And I would do a big post about, hey, it's a new era. When the new bike comes, you might help them launch it by saying, we got a new chassis. I'm excited. You have to remake the story and give people a reason. But I would just go silent for a month or two until he's almost close to coming back. And then I would do that and call it like Kawasaki 2.0 or some sort of a PR spin like that. That's what I would do if I was those guys.
Yeah, that's what he'd have to do. But do you think that's very likely though, Chris? For that?
No, I think it's probably more likely that they'll hire me. Yeah.
That's my concern. Just when something goes south, it's so hard to rehabilitate that, because you need each party be willing to work on that. And Chase is clearly the one that needs to have an attitude adjustment here, because if he doesn't have the right attitude, they're not going to go far. The team can do everything that they possibly can, but if Chase, his head's not right and he's going to ghost ride the bike and cause problems and not talk to certain people, how are they going to make improvements? a team that's not being effective with their communication.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done on both ends. And drop bear, before you go golfing, I'll answer your question. The Lawrences are the only reason Chase left Honda. I think you're right. He wanted to be the number one guy, and he didn't want to be the B team guy, and his ego was there. So yeah.
Yeah, and we'll cover this a little later on the listener questions, but I have an interesting thing to bring up for Chase Sexton as well once we get to that point. But
I want to go to Deegan.
yeah.
Deegan, what do you think of him? So that I think it's incredible. Most guys, this is a long season, grinding, traveling. How about like he went out and rented Southwick and practiced? Does that not show dedication?
Yeah, no, it was sick that he rented out Southwick and got that done. I would I'd love to be there. They have some cool ride days actually. Sometimes during the week they have these ride days on Wednesdays, and it's pretty cool where they bring out some pro guys. But it's awesome that Star was able to rent the track and have Deegan out there and Cooper. And I also saw Antonio Cairoli out there, which was really sick. So it's awesome that they're able to do that. And at Southwick, it's definitely needed because if you haven't ridden that track, you're in for quite the time because it's very different compared to any other track. And it's not like any other sand track either because it has a hard packed base with this like loose sand on top, and it gets not really moguls like big like rollers. It gets moguls mixed with braking bunts. So it's quite difficult to set your bike up. So that's why you see these guys going there early. But yeah, no, it's that's something I want to mention there. It's cool because he's taking that dedication where he could be off. He could be taking some time to rehabilitate, be like, all right, I want to kind of regroup, refresh myself. But the kid has a lot of heart, and I see him winning here very soon. I'm not saying he's going to just get the overall on Jet or Hunter, but I see a moto win in due time with him. And also, I see the comments here. Yo, what's up, Tyler? Tyler Loud, he's in the comments. He's another pro rider I grew up with racing, so cool dude.
Yeah, and then I did have to laugh too. My buddy was by there, and him and Cooper Webb were aching and sore at the end of the day, and he wasn't too far away. And this guy's connected with Nano Extreme. They're like, dude, do you got any? He drove an extra 2 hours out of the way because they needed Nano Extreme because they were both hurting, and they both got it.
Right. That stuff works great too. I mean, I honestly I haven't had to use it too much, but when I did, I really liked it. So I'm excited to see the other product that they come out with too. You said something that they might be doing something for arm pump in due time.
Yeah, the current product works for arm pump, but they're working on a specific formula to be better for arm pump. Speaking of pain and pain cream, holy moly, Seth Hamaker, my title pick, it's over. He's out. And I'm okay with this. Like, he was falling apart. He had a big crash, and you don't mess around with shoulders. I have serious shoulder problems that I'll probably have the rest of my life. A lot of it has to do with ignoring a current injury and fighting through it instead of actually rehabbing it the way that I should have. And so he's out. What do you think of Hamaker?
Hamaker is his own worst enemy. When we look at his past, it's just been up and down. He's just made a lot of rookie mistakes and novice mistakes, in my opinion. He's incredibly talented, super fast, but these decisions don't make sense to me, Chris. And I'm not even obviously at the speed that Hamaker's at, but I'm at a pro level. I've raced a lot of races in my life, and it's just odd. Some of the things that we see out of him, they're very Chase Sexton like or Levi Kitchen like, where you're like, what is he doing? Like, why is he falling in the first turn? Why is he just not braking in time and just running into the rest of the field? It's just odd behavior. And some of the crashes that we've seen in Supercross were, just riding out of control, and he was riding above his limit. And like I've told you time and time again, it's, you have a threshold. Like, you could ride at this level and you could step above it briefly to make a pass or to try to get a gap on somebody. But if you stay above your line, you're going to go down. And he keeps doing that and making these mistakes like we saw from this loop out. Even a lot of the guys who were like RV and Carmichael and a bunch of people were really baffled by his crash getting looped out like that. And I know RV did that overseas, but it's just something that you don't typically see from somebody at his level. So I hope he could take the time he needs, heal up, get better, and we can just get some more consistency out of him. Because if we can get consistency out of him, he could always be a title threat with his speed. But I think it's going to get more difficult as the years go on because the competition that's coming up behind him.
Yeah. And hey, Honda Cowboy 69, happy 4th to you. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for the support. I love when you come in here and do the super chats and give people memberships. It means a ton to me. So thank you very much.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Um,
Thanks for supporting the stream.
and we'll get into the racing action. 450. Somebody asked, "Is Caroli racing?" Yes, he is. 79-year-old Antonio Caroli will be lining up on a Ducati. No, he's not 70. But he's 40 something. He's been around forever.
He rips though.
He
He's so
still rips, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about putting pressure on Barsha and Ferrandis because you're the paid hot shoes. You can't have this retired guy come out there and put it to you. If you were on that team and they bring in Caroli, would you feel a lot of pressure?
Oh yeah, of course. It's not a good look to get beat. I mean, look what happened with Prado and AP. Prado didn't even want to let AP by.
Yeah.
So yeah, I expect him to do actually really well. When we look, he raced RedBud last year and he was in the top 10 until his bike gave out. He DNF'd. So he's very capable to be right in the top 10. I don't know where he'll stack up, but if he gets a great start, I wouldn't be surprised if he ran top 5 for a while.
Yeah, and I do feel bad for Barsha on that team right now. And I don't know that they've made this public or it's official, but it's most likely he's not going to get re-signed. They've signed RJ Hampshire for next year, and it sure looks like they're going to continue with Ferrandis, which means he's out. That's got to be hard being on a team and being like the lame duck, knowing they're moving on without you.
Yeah.
Zach Attack, thank you for the memberships. I love the mob members. So.
Yeah, that's sick. It's always cool seeing people that support and are in here. So that's dope. Yeah. And
Zach Attack, I didn't get your email. Make sure you send me your email with your address and shirt size, and I'll get you hooked up. He won in June for the Nano Extreme giveaway.
Let's go, man. Yeah, that's a great win and great dub. So it's always cool when you win those giveaways. It's especially with Nano Extreme, like I said, it works really well. I've used it myself. Cooksey sent some to me, and I was about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't really need it too much right now, but it did work, so it was great. And one more thing, I missed over a comment. I think my boy Tyler Loud asked me. He was like, "Yo, are you gonna race Southwick National this year?" No, I'm not racing it this year, bro. But if you're racing it, good luck and have fun. And I know if I do go out and race any more nationals in the future, we'll talk to Cooksey, get a Cooksey mob sticker or something on the helmet, the old jersey, iron something on there.
The problem is even I even told Anton Nordstrom, who I'm kind of helping out, like, dude, I don't know if you want to put Cooksey Media on there. Like, they're so crazy about it. They might disqualify him or do like, I don't want you going like, if you want to go for it, but I don't want somebody getting crap just because of that.
Cooksey, so. You know what I'd do? I'd have the sticker or the jersey, and once I was qualified into the main, then I'd put it on. Once I'm qualified, not before qualifying, because then they'll be like, all right, we'll try to penalize you for sound, or they'll look for something. So it's not even worth it, honestly. But after you're in, they can't say as much after you're in. It's more difficult, at least. They can still give you a penalty, but at least you're already in at that point.
Yeah. Have you ever ridden the RedBud track? I was looking at it, and it looks so fun. It's got that soft soil, which every track has these days. Have you jumped the leap, and what do you think of that place?
So I haven't raced there. I've had some friends go there, and they said that was the best track that they've ever ridden. I've heard nothing but amazing things about that track. It's a track that every racer should go to at one point. I would love to go there, and one day I definitely want to make a trip out there and go ride or race. It looks incredible, the facility and everything that they've done to it over the years, right? Like the soil, the jumps, it's immaculate. Yeah, and I know I sent you that clip. I do want to talk about the leap because I do have some thoughts on that, actually.
Let's see. Was it this one?
No, we'll cover that one. That's for the breakdown. What's the other one for the? No, it's not that one. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, we can run this back. But this is from press day today. So this was Deegan hitting the leap today. Or I'm sorry, yesterday. Was it? Yeah, no. It was
today, earlier today.
Yeah, because it was Friday.
Yeah, I usually get them cleaned up a little bit more, but I only had like an hour. So
no, it's all good. I've had to readjust that one. But anyway, all right. So I want to make a point here. This is like a little bit of a rant for me. How do you feel about this, Chris? There was only two guys. So Vital posted this. Hats off to Vital, but they posted this, and Deegan's hitting the leap, Prado's hitting the leap, but no 250 guys hit the leap. And I'm just like wondering, man. They went outside. They are on works 450s, factory 450s, going outside and holding it wick to hit this leap. And we see no factory 250 guys doing it. And there was maybe a couple other 450 guys I think he mentioned, but I don't like this is my problem. I don't like that this jump has become so difficult that most guys aren't hitting it. And even in some of the motos, you'll see 450 guys not hitting it. I'm like, this is crazy. Back in the day, there was guys hitting it on old 250s, like way back. And the bikes were so much slower back then. And it doesn't make sense for me why they're making this jump so difficult because all the people watching the bleachers there want to see people hit the leap. Why are you making it so difficult where in the 250 moto, no one's really hitting it? And then 450 class, you got, Prado or Deegan or a few guys, but it's just everyone wants to see people hit the leap. Why are they messing up the run? Why aren't they giving people more you know, adjusting the lip? Like they could easily go out there and doze it. They could make an adjustment in no time. So that's just a rant for me. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think they like to make it to where only a few guys. You have to be elite. Not everybody. They don't want it to become routine. No, but Jace Kessler did it, so it couldn't have been that hard. But Jace is a savage. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm with you, but at the same time, I do like watching. I don't know. I'm torn on that one. I mean, part of me says don't make a giant jump like that routine because it's dangerous, and then part of me says if only 3 guys do it, it's even more dangerous because somebody will get landed on. I hadn't really thought about it that much, but you got a great point. You kind of go one way or the other. Either make it so it's a little bit easier or make it so it's not doable. One of those 2 routes, but not doable would suck because, yes, it is a staple of that track. I mean, first thing everybody asks if you raced at RedBud, did you hit the leap?
Of course, everyone asks that. And what I don't understand, Chris, like you said, okay, there's not even one 250 guy hit this. I don't know who was at press day, but I'm assuming star guys were there.
Are you sure? I saw Dudney eyeing it up. He didn't hit it?
They said in Vital, no 250 guys hit it in that description. No one. So how is not a star bike hitting it? That's what I don't understand. These kids are fearless. Like when you look at the tracks that they're training on at the Star Racing compound, at the Sandbox, or at Barcel's old place, like the jumps are huge. It's not a problem. They don't care about the size of the jump. It's something actually wrong with the trajectory of the jump. They need to make the lip steeper. They need to make the runway longer. They need to not be tilling it so deep before the leap. Like something's happening, Chris, where I don't like that these guys can't get over it because let's just say for a privateer, there's no shot you're getting over it. If a star bike isn't getting over it, there's no shot in a privateer you're getting over that on 250. And back in the day, you could do it on a 250. That's what I don't understand. Why is it so contingent? Everything has to be absolutely perfect to hit this jump. Why can't you make it a little bit easier? Like, sure, have some separation, but you got to make it easier because everyone loves to see that. It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, Go RYD says it did rain pretty good there last night, so maybe that's the problem. But you're right, they do rip it too deep.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's clearly they can even extend it out, right? Like why can't they bring it even a little bit further out? Remember back in the day, they had a lot longer runway to it, and then also they could change the sweeper. A lot of the times the rut will blow out before it, and then no one's doing it in the motos. Like how frustrating would it be if you saw 450 guys not doing the leap this year because the line was messed up? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it has happened in the past.
Yeah, pretty lame. But I would tell my guys if they're going out there on press day, this is press day, man. You're trying to get pictures and look cool. I don't care if you got to go to the parking lot, hit it a couple times. I mean, I wouldn't even do the turn the way you'd normally do it. I'd go way out wide and hit that thing from a run. Like, why would you? It's press day, man. You're supposed to have fun. And I love that the Deegans, when they do interviews and they talk about press day, they say, listen, that's for the press. It's for the fans. It's not a real practice. We're just throwing whips. I know you still are using the track, but it's more about just kind of getting attention and having fun and, go way out wide. If Dudney went way out wide and then threw this sick turn, like, dude, that'll be all over everything. And that's probably more profitable for the brands than getting a 5th place in a moto.
Yeah, press day. I have some thoughts on press day too. I would love for them to do what they did at Thunder Valley and make it an open practice. Just let all the guys ride. Because there's been times where I've been invited to press day. I've gone to press day at Unadilla. I've gone to press day at Southwick. And then there's times when I raced High Point, and then I didn't go to press day, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know, I don't really know the track. And then when you go out for the first qualifying session and try to qualify, it's a lot more difficult because you have 2 laps, not even. Then you got to throw down the fastest lap time of your life, or you go home. And so it's a lot of pressure, and it's difficult because the track is always changing from every session, and it's it's tough because you're learning the track while trying to lay down the fastest time. So anyway, where I'm heading with this is I would love for them to have an open practice at these events. Like, why not? If they've done it in the past, they could do it again, is what I'm saying. And it helped all the guys. It couldn't have hurt. And like, if you don't want to do the practice, don't do it. Like Jet Lawrence didn't do it. There's a few guys, maybe Prado, that didn't even do the open practice before, but it would really help level the playing field a little bit.
For me, it's a safety thing. The one national I tried to qualify for was Glen Helen in '07, and I didn't have it. I had to go, like you said, I had to go out there, and the
I didn't
track's
know
only,
that. I didn't know you had your pro
yeah,
card. You tried qualifying.
yeah, I had my pro card,
You
tried to
waited. You
qualify.
waited till now to tell me this.
I thought I told you before. Yeah, I tried to qualify, and you go out there in that first lap, and you're like, I've got to get it in now because if I have to wait till the second session, I don't have a chance. And I
Right.
was just going for it, and there was a big jump. It was like a tabletop, like landing. I thought it was a double because you're just trying to learn the track in a heartbeat, and they had just rebuilt everything, cased it, broke my foot. I didn't even get a lap in. I was so bummed. But I have to think it's kind of a safety thing. If I could have gone there the day before and done a 15-minute session, I would have known what that jump was. I could have taken my time. And dude, it looked like it was like Nom out there. There were bikes everywhere. It was a line at the medical unit when I was over there with my foot.
Sheesh. That's
Yeah.
that's not fun. That doesn't sound like fun at all.
No, no, it was gnarly. But that track was remember the first time Glen Helen started doing those gigantic uphill jumps? It was the first year they introduced that. And I remember being in the riders meeting and Wyndham was like, you guys got to knock that down. It's too big. Because I thought it was too big. But hearing him say that, I was like, oh, thank goodness I'm not that bad. And they knocked it down like 2 feet. And I'm like, oh, man, I need a lot more than that.
If Kevin Windham said that, you know it's real because
Oh, yeah.
he was the guy that wasn't afraid to do the transfers that he did in the Supercross. Like, it was insane, some of the jumps that he did and the talent that Kevin Windham had. He was just like so precise and tactical on the motorcycle.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get to the action, the 450s. We got Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Hayden Deegan, Jorge Prado, Hampshire, Marchbanks, Plessinger, Ferrandis, Harrop, Webb. Who do you want to talk about?
You kick off. You could start it.
I just want to say I'm watching Jorge Prado really close. Jorge Prado doesn't deal well with the heat. He doesn't look happy to be there. I watch body language. That's what I study. I study body language and like language and far as like the mood and reference.
Sure.
He doesn't want to race nationals. He knows he can. I see Jorge Prado getting 4th, 5th, 6th place. He's not going to push.
So I'm going to push back here a little bit.
Of course you are.
So with all due respect, I think Prado's going to do good here. I'm not a fan of him in the heat either. That's my concern. But last year, I rewatched RedBud from last year, the second motos, and he got the whole shot. And he was leading for a while on a Kawasaki. So he clearly rides this track really well. And then I also remember, I believe it was in 2018 when we had the MX to Nations at RedBud, and Prado was on the KTM 250 whole shotted and was leading for a long time. So he gels with his track. He rides really good here. So I'm actually expecting a breakout ride for him here, kind of like what we saw at Fox Raceway, or at least in the mix on the podium. I'm not saying he's going to run Hunter down or be there with him, but I expect him to be closer to that podium position instead of a distant 4th, 5th. And if he doesn't do it at RedBud or Southwick, then the season's going to fall off. I don't see him doing it the rest of the year, really.
Who does better tomorrow, Aaron Plessinger or Jorge Prado?
Prado. And I know it's a tough call.
Oh my gosh, are you a communist? You went against AP on 250th birthday?
AP, I told you AP. If I could chill with any rider, I'd hit up AP. He seems dope, but he's obviously he's the cowboy. He's the person that's all about the just our country, which is awesome. But on a level, like he's warming up too, because AP's heating up. It really can go either way. If you were betting, you could bet on Prado or AP, but I know Prado likes this track, and I know the softer soil. That RedBud isn't really a hard packed track anymore. It's a lot more sand like. It's not Southwick level, but from all the soil that they add, how they till it, how deep it is, from what people are saying, we're gonna get rain. He should excel out there. Obviously, I
Okay.
don't.
Yeah, if it rains, but then again, AP is really good in the rain. I don't know, man.
He
I
is
would,
good in the rain.
and he loves this crowd, and they go bonkers if they can get him on the podium. They're gonna just, are you kidding me? 250th birthday, AP on the podium, and that's a very real possibility. It's unlikely because he's got to get ahead of Jet, Hunter, and Deegan, but I think he's ahead of his teammate Prado.
Yeah, I don't see it yet. I'm putting Prado over AP just from the stats that we've seen so far this year, because he hasn't beat him all year except one moto. Every overall, Prado's beat him thus far.
Yeah, but I'm looking at trajectory. He's getting better. Prado's getting worse.
Well, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. That'd be a
Yeah.
good bet, actually. They might put, who knows? That might be a good betting option, the 1v1s.
Jet and Hunter. So they both got 2 wins. After round 1, we thought it was going to be all Hunter. After round 2 and 3, we thought it was going to be all Jet. They're equal. What happens tomorrow?
Jet all day. Jet all day. I after seeing what he did last year in Moto 2 of being like 18th to 1st, he just rode like a psycho. And that was one of the most impressive rides I've seen on a motorcycle since Ken Roxon in 2016 when he came through the pack in Millville. In like 2 laps, he was like 18th, 20th to 1st place. So that's just a level of skill and talent that we don't see often. And Jet has that. And when he wants to hit the burners, he just hits it and he jets. Now, I have a feeling as a racer, when you go to a track that you gel with or you had really good results at, you have this level of confidence coming into that round, like you could do it again. And not that Hunter didn't do well last year, but Jet really performed and just made it look easy last year, reeling everybody in, passing each and every guy without any issue. So I kind of see a repeat of that again. And Jet arguably is a better starter than Hunter. When we look at the stats on the board, he's been outstarting him every round. And if Hunter doesn't get the start on Jet, I don't see Hunter reeling in Jet and passing Jet.
But
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think Jet's going to win.
No, I see Jet passing Hunter if Hunter gets the start still right now. I know High Point was like, oh, it's crazy. Look what he did at High Point 1-1. But that's one of Hunter's best tracks when we look at the schedule. He's excelled there years past, time and time again. It just really gels with him.
And it's one of Jet's worst tracks.
Right.
I mean, it's not Washougal, but it's not his favorite. Now, Hayden Deegan, I think we can both agree that he's going to get there. My question is, how close is he to be battling for wins? Is he there yet? Are we going to need a couple weeks? What do you think?
Flip a coin. Here's my thought. I was doing some digging on this, and when we look at the stats, Deegan's really good when the track is very loose and when it's deep and almost a little bit muddy, which could play in his benefit for qualifying session number 1 and maybe Moto 1 if we get rain. Who knows? Now, the reason why Deegan's so good when the track's soft and when it's deep is because he steers with the rear wheel. Jet and Hunter are the opposite. They really steer the motorcycle with the front wheel, meaning they put a lot of faith in their front wheel when they're entering turns, when they're entering ruts, and they're very precise. Deegan reminds me of Ryan Villapoto a little bit. When you watch Ryan Villapoto, he used to slide the bike and spin the bike with his rear wheel. So I see Deegan excelling when the track's soft like that because you can't have that same faith in the front end. Now, I don't know how RedBud's going to turn out with the track prep, with the rain. There's a lot of variables here, but I see Deegan. He could do it if everything lines up perfectly. He needs this. It's still not an easy task. If like betting odds, it's not the best odd, but it's possible. He can run that pace. Look what he did at Thunder Valley. He was right there. He was right behind Jet and Hunter. He was flying. He qualified fastest. He's able to get in Jet's head now. So clearly he's in the mix with them. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, look how Jet's been beating him every round. Look at the overalls. Look how much, Jet has the advantage. But let's remember, Hayden is younger than Jet. He's a few years younger, and that adds up a lot because that extra experience in this class pays dividends. Let's say we gave Deegs another 3 years. There's no doubt in my mind we could flip a coin who's going to end up winning that next round. So where I'm at with Deegs, I see him winning anytime he can win a moto, but I just don't know when that's going to happen because it is track dependent and start contingent.
I would agree with you, but I would look back at Deegan's results at RedBud. I mean, he hasn't been bad, but this is not one of his favorite tracks. He doesn't really like it. I mean, remember that one year we had the big crash where he landed on the bike, and it just hasn't been good to him. So I want to say that he's going to get there. I don't think it's going to be this weekend. I would say you're more likely at Millville, but Washougal's what that's the one I've got circled on the calendar for him to kind of have that breakout. The other guys that I was thinking about, Garrett Marchbanks looked
Your boy.
good.
Your boy.
Dude, the confidence, he's carrying Kawasaki on his back. What's his ceiling? Could he get a podium?
I'm not there yet with Garrett. He could be top 5. He has the speed to be top 5 and to mix it up there. But my problem with Garrett are 2 things, Chris. One, his starts are terrible. He's got to figure them out. Like it's not the bike.
Terrible.
No, they are compared to the other guys.
It's funny, but you're stating the truth. They're awful.
And I'm just stating the facts and looking at it. He needs to improve starts. This has been a problem on 250s and on 450s. It's not the horsepower. Let's just get rid of the horsepower problem. He needs to figure out starts. Something's not working. He needs to be able to make some more adjustments. And I like Garrett. Seems like a really cool dude, but just the starts aren't there. We're looking at it analytically. And these guys are so fast. You can't give him a start. It's not the 250 class. He can't just like work his way through the pack and catch these guys like he did in 250s year and year after year. Now, he has the speed to be top 5, but on a podium, I don't see him beating Hunter or Jet, and I don't see him beating Deegs, and I don't really see him beating Prado unless it really lines up right. Like everything has to go in his favor. Like Prado needs to be giving up or, not getting a good start, which very well could happen, but he's a 5th, 6th, 7th place guy for me at this point. I know he's your boy, but that's
dude, 5th, 6th, 7th is really good in this class right now. And saying podium, like that's tough. You got Deegan, you got both Lawrence brothers. You got to beat one of those guys. And I don't know that there's anyone in the field that can do that without a little bit of help, without one of those guys having a bad day. Or
the AMA doing some penalties.
The AMA will, absolutely. But I don't count that. That's ridiculous. Anyone else in the 450s you want to bring up before we go to 250s?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to bring up Dylan Ferrandis. Do we know if he's racing after the crash? And do you know where he's at? Have you heard anything?
Hold on. That's news to me. What happened?
Well, remember the crash at High Point, like how he weeded up with what was that? What was the rider Tondel on the Cowie?
Oh yeah, I had heard that he was banged up. I didn't think he was out. I thought he was coming back this weekend, no problem.
Okay, I just didn't know where he was at because he seemed to get up a little bit slow, and it was pretty rough one. So I was curious if I know we didn't hear he was out, but just figured where he would stack up because he does like this track too, and he does rip here.
Yeah, and like I said, he's got a lot of pressure on him with Caroli. Where does Caroli end up?
9 to 12.
That's literally exactly what I was going to say. Right around there, depending on how it goes. But speed wise, at this age, on the Ducati, which is not proven yet, hasn't proven in Europe, hasn't proven here. I would say 9. If he can get a top 10, that would be awesome.
You think he beats Barsha?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think he beats Ferrandis if he's okay.
Yeah, I don't see him being Ferrandis. I see him being Ferrandis if Ferrandis crashes out. That's the only way because he's a little sketchy at times. But
Ferrandis will go absolute bananas. He will not let that happen. He will throw it away before he lets him beat him.
Right. One thing I want to mention too. What about RJ? A little bit quiet this year. At High Point he went 10-7 for 8th overall. How you feeling about RJ? Because you saw him at when you were down at Baker's. You've talked to all these guys. You saw them preseason. So what are you thinking about him now?
I will say this about RJ, and I do have a lot of insight into this. It sucks. He's on a team that's out. Like if it were up to him right now, he would just go over to the Ducati truck right now and just say, "We're good," and just cut loose with. They're not giving him the good shock or the wrong oil. Something's going on with the shock. It's only good for half the moto on his bike. It's the same thing Sexton and Vial were complaining about last year, and I think they have a fix for it, but they're not giving it to him, which sucks.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't heard anything. That's why I wanted to ask you about it. And RJ's not.
Watch his bike the second half of the moto. It looks horrible.
Yeah, RJ isn't one of those guys to complain. He rarely makes excuses, which I have a lot of respect for him about. Like he's always like, "Hey, I didn't have it, or I went down, or this or that." Like he owns if he makes a mistake. So that's something I give him a lot of credit for. But yeah, I was just curious because last year he was a top 5 guy, even top 4. He was battling for podiums at times. He was in that J Coop level, flip a coin, because he could beat J Coop on the right day last year. I mean, remember how he did? Like he was on our MX Nations team. He was really turning things around.
Yeah, and Zach, you expected more out of RJ. I did too. I think RJ expected more, but when you're limited and you don't have a team that's in that build or do anything to get it going, and they're all checked out because their jobs are going to be gone and they won't give you the right equipment, I don't know what you do. Honestly, I wish that they would just let him out of his contract and just go over to Ducati right now if that's possible.
Right.
But I don't think it is. But, RJ's not a guy that will ever quit on his team. And it's unfortunate, but it looks like Husky's quitting on him.
Yeah, well, it's sad, the whole situation with Husky, honestly. I as someone that's been in the sport, I never like to see teams go. It's just not a good look to see teams folding or having issues, because clearly there's a bigger issue at hand with the sport, as you know, and you've talked about time and time again. So yeah, it's just a bummer to see.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would love to see him, and RJ, he's a savage. On the 4th of July, he's a patriot. He's going to go for it. You might see him do something special, and you think of a guy that's going to send the leap, he'll send that thing every time.
Yeah, no, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Anyone else that you want to mention in 450?
No, I'm good with the 450s. We can move on to the 250s, and now Levi Kitchen's our point leader. 1 point over Joe Shimoda. Beaumare's 2 points behind. Cole Davies 7 points behind. And then Hammaker's out. So it's pretty much those 4 guys. One of those 4 guys will be your champion this year. But I don't know about Kitchen. This track suits him. He's incredibly fast. And I think he has a history of going 1.7 or 1.9 at this track a lot. Right. And I think we're probably going to see the same thing.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I'm not on the Kitchen bandwagon. I haven't been on the Kitchen bandwagon since Supercross. Nothing against the dude, but I think there's a bigger problem at hand with him. And here's where I'm going with this. Mentally, I just don't know what to expect from Kitchen. He's been putting it together this year thus far, which is great. But I'm concerned because we don't have that consistency yet. Like, is he going to be able to keep doing this round after round and staying up front? Because even his performance at High Point was off. He went 6.5 for 4th, a distant, and that was kind of one of those things where it was I don't like to say the word given, but a 4th place after a 6.5 is a little bit generous, and we didn't see him too much. So he needs to turn things around here quick, because this points lead is going to evaporate fast. And I'm on the Joe Shimoda bandwagon where he's at and how he's revving up, especially at this track. That once we get to our picks, that's who I'm going to be betting on. But anyway, what are your thoughts with Levi?
Oh, you get JS7 one race, then lawn chair Levi the next.
Yo, I like Imus looks vaccinated.
Oh, geez, you guys are mean.
Oh,
brutal. That is funny. Yeah, Joe Shimoda. Joe Shimoda he had that breakout ride here last year. He's tough. The heat doesn't bother him, and I think this is where he's going to take charge and really become the guy in this season right now. I don't know about Beaumare. I mean, I want him because he's one of my favorite guys, and I'm incredibly impressed with what he's done. But I keep waiting for, like the bubble to burst and him to go a little bit back. But I don't know. What do you think of these guys?
I'm really impressed with Beaumare. I was I didn't have any expectation for him, Chris, when he was coming back from the injury. And we talked about it in the 250 preview show before Fox Raceway. Like, just for him to be out there is a staple because of the injury that he had with his neck and his back. It's a really scary injury, and he could have walked away from the sport completely. But the fact that he's out there and he's performing so well is pretty outstanding to me. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on him. His starts are going to be great. He's going to be in contention in the top 5. Now, my question is, like we talked about, I don't know how he's going to respond to these softer tracks. That's why I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Bomer. Being a guy that's out west, he rips out west, right? But like once we get to these softer tracks, now is he going to be able to adjust to that type of soil?
Yes, because he's training at the Baker factory now, and I think he's gotten a lot more comfortable. But I had to put that comment up there. That is so perfect. Kitchen acts like racing is a hobby. Is that not perfect description? So I'm going to steal that one.
It's good. It's solid. You never know what to expect out of Kitchen, honestly. And he has so much talent too. It's got to be frustrating a bit for Mitch Payton, right? Like a lot of his guys have so much speed, but then you don't know what you're gonna get out of them if they're gonna pull through or they're gonna grenade.
Yeah. And so we'll move on from him and go to Cole Davies. So Cole had the race of his life.
He's my title pick still.
And he might be, but this is what we're waiting to see. We've been waiting to see. Now, if it rains, it might change things, but dog days of summer, hot. Can he get it done? I don't know. I'm not sure that he can, but if he can get it done here, they're in trouble.
I agree. He has to prove to everyone around him and to the team and to himself, most importantly, that he could handle this heat. Because even Ben Townley was talking about it. Being from New Zealand, that's something that he struggled with growing up, was riding in the heat. And we know Cole has struggled with that as well. So how is he going to adjust? And remember, this is the first time he's been going to a lot of these tracks. I mean, I know the combine has been here previously, but a lot of these rounds, he hasn't had much track time compared to the other guys. So that's also a little bit of a disadvantage. But if he could put it together, do what he did last round, get a 1-1 on the board, watch out, because it's going to be really tough to stop him. So Joe has to shut him down now. Like this has to be the time for someone to step up and put an end to his confidence, because if they don't turn this around with Davies, he can start going on a run here.
Totally agree. And a guy who rides pretty good here, that's been having a really good season, is Ryder DeFrancesco. He might get up there and podium one of these two motos. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm not there, Chris.
No,
I'm not there, and I'll tell you why. He's a West Coast guy. I mean, I know, like you said, he's training at Baker's.
He's done really good at this track, though.
He has, but it seems like he's a click off to me. And he's not someone that's a rookie anymore too. And I'm not trying to be hard on Ryder D here, but it's strange because he went 7-6 at High Point for 6th overall. But when else have we actually seen him in contention for a podium this year, Chris?
He's had a few motos where he's up there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Let's see what his results are.
Anything off the dome, though? You're like, oh, yeah.
No. Well, he got 5th and 6th at the last 2 rounds.
But that's my point. Like, everyone, okay, when as a fan or a racer, you always remember, someone had a highlight. They broke out this moto. They were ripping. Like, let's just take the Coonan.
Hold on. He got 3rd at the second moto at Paula. He had 3rd at the second moto in Colorado, and then last week 7-6.
Right. I mean, Paula, he's a West Coast. He's from California, though, so that's more expected out there.
But that seems pretty consistently up front to me.
Yeah, but not enough to where he's on the podium yet. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible. It very well is possible with the field for how they play musical chairs in the 250 class, because it's kind of open season since Deegan moved up to 450. But to me, Ryder D hasn't had that level of breakout where he's just, I'm one of the guys. He hasn't shown me that yet. In Supercross, he was starting to at times, but I don't look at the field, like this whole field, and be like, oh yeah, he's just going to get a start and start running out front. I mean, prove me wrong, but I see Caden Minear. I see Caden Dundee, one of the rookies, doing that before him in a way, just because they have this explosiveness and this level of speed. And Ryder D, who was arguably one of the best amateurs growing up from all his accolades and results. I don't believe that speed has translated as of yet to the 250 class. And I know he's had injuries, so I'm not taking away from the injuries that he's been through, but I'm just not there yet. I see him as a top 5. I see him as a 4 to 7 guy. A 4 on
Okay.
a good day. 4 on a good
With
day.
all due respect, we're gonna make a side bet on our points, and we're gonna go AP versus Prado,
We need
and
to
then
do
we're
this, yeah.
and then we're gonna
One more.
go. I'll take Ryder D over Caden and Dudney. I'll give both of them to you because I'm taking Ryder D. So, but we'll get
Yeah.
to that. We'll figure it out in a little bit. Nick Romano, is he gonna get back on track?
Yeah, he has to. I mean, what happened at High Point was really a bad look, and I like Nick and his story. I actually I listened to his story and just was able to follow that, and it was really cool his come up and what he went through to get the PC ride and to put in the result. It was really cool, and I'm actually rooting for him. But after that performance at High Point, he's gonna have to put it back up there because Mitch was probably a little bit baffled about what happened, and I think Nick Romano knows that. He's like, yeah, this is unacceptable. To be on the podium, to be podium to 20th place on a PC bike is just something you can't do.
No, and I think he had this big adrenaline dump after Colorado. It was like this crazy thing that he didn't even imagine a few months ago when he didn't even know if he had a ride, and now he's on the podium. I'll give him a pass. It happens to a lot of guys after they have their first really good result. You have a letdown. If I'm him or around him, I say, dude, just forget it. You raced 3 rounds. This is round 4 for you. We'll just imagine High Point didn't happen and keep doing what you're doing. And I think he'll be up there. I don't think we're going to see podium finishes out of him. Like he got a little lucky with that one, but he'll be up there in the top 5 battling, I think.
Yeah, he's a great starter too. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a start and runs up front there for a while.
Yeah. And we got to talk about this guy because last year he was a contender. This year he's a pretender, as Paul Malin likes to say. Chance Hymas. What he looks like he got vaccinated. The guy said so. Yeah, I don't know what you do with him. He's just like, how do you fall that far? And they're not saying it's an illness. They're not. He's just like saying that he's slow. I don't get it.
Right. Well, what I have to think about as a racer is he's been injured many times with his ACL, and he's had just a lot of big get-offs, and he hasn't finished a season since 2022 or 2023, right? It was one of those years. The last full season Chance has done. So in the back of his mind, he's probably thinking, I just need to get through the season and not get injured. And plus, remember the trauma. It's probably a little PTSD with what happened at High Point because remember in the later laps at High Point, he tore his ACL there. And remember the cutaway with Jet, patting on the back, like, all right, it's gonna be all right, and trying to walk him through it. But going back to a track that you got hurt at as a racer isn't easy to do, especially with a traumatic injury like that being out for such a long time. So I think Hymas is I just don't want to get injured because let's say I don't even want to say this. Let's just put this out there though. How many ACLs has he torn already? 2 or 3?
2, I think. 2. I don't know. 2 or 3. A lot.
Okay, 2 or 3. Let's just say if motocross is a really dangerous sport, as we know, everyone gets hurt at some point. The last thing we want to do is see him get hurt again. But it's like if you keep getting hurt over and over, and you're someone that's in his age bracket, it's not a very appealing to a team at that point. Like when's the point where they write you off and then they put you on a B team? That's my concern. I wonder if he's like, has any thoughts about that.
I'm with you on that, but at the same time, when you do what Austin Forkner did and just complete the races and just get slow, you lose it. You gotta have a short memory. I know it's hard and I know it sucks and you've been out, but that's the job. You drop it and you go for it and you don't think about the injuries. If you're racing, worrying about an injury, you're going to get hurt or you're going to suck.
One thing I want to mention though about Austin is, he had brain surgery, right? Like
that's different. Yeah, that Austin's
it's just a different case. Like if we take ACL to ACL, you're right. He should come back and bounce back. When we look at Jet Lawrence, when we look at Ryan Villapoto, Ricky Carmichael, people who had ACL tears and came back and won. So he's going to have to do something here soon because he's, everyone was expecting him to be a title threat, and he hasn't done any damage whatsoever in this season.
No, it's been bad. Like, you won't keep your job finishing where he's finishing. I mean, he's at that dangerous spot where even if you had a year left on it, they would like buy you out just to get rid of you. Anyone else in the 250s you wanted to bring up?
I actually, who else I want to see here? Oh, yeah, actually, I want to bring up one more person. What do you think of Casey Cochran with his ride? He went 411 because he had an amazing Moto 1.
I love it for him. I know how hard he works. He was at the Baker factory the day that I was there. He's got an amazing family, and he's just, man, he's been riddled with injuries as a pro, but he has the talent and he has that grit, and he just needs a couple of these rides. I don't think he's going to get onto a star or PC, but he could land at, like, the Toyota Redlands Bar X team, which is going to be Husqvarna. Something like that might be a good place where he could he's got enough mental strength and talent. He's one of these guys that could lose a factory ride, go to a lower team, and then get back. So yeah, I loved seeing it. It warmed my heart to see him doing better, because I know how hard he works. And you know how it is, dude, when you put your whole life into something and then just have it ripped from injuries and you never even get to show what you know you can do.
Yeah,
that's hard.
But what do you think he's going to do this weekend? You have, like, you think he's going to follow up or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's going to be battling inside the top 10, maybe even the top 5. He's going to look much better. Yeah, I definitely see him inside the top 10. And like, it's just so hard in that top 5. Those dudes are elite. I don't know if he could stay up there the whole time. He's a good starter. He might lead for a little while, get in there, but I don't know that he can still do it for the entire moto.
Right. No, that's a good play. He doesn't have a ride for next season, does he?
He does not.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. So he's gonna have to perform. This is contingent on his future if he doesn't perform.
Absolutely, 100%. So yeah, I hope he does. If you want to get to so on your channel, you like to do some technique breakdowns, and we got a couple things loaded up here, and you're going to break some stuff down for us.
Yeah, yeah. I want to break down this one clip of the one that you showed at High Point. I wanted to run something back. So yeah, we could pause this for a second. We can pause for a second. But yeah, so on my channel, I just started it, so bear with me with the content. I'm starting to put stuff up there. It's been a little bit crazy, but I'm basically going to do a lot of breakdowns, covering riders, covering things that I see, because I have done a lot of training with riders, group training, and just breaking down technique to how to improve, be a safer, smarter, faster rider. So this clip, I actually want to cover Hunter Lawrence and something that Jet is doing and Deegs are doing here at High Point. So let's dive in. Whenever you're ready to hit play, we'll have to repeat this a few times. Yeah. We got to run it from the top though.
That is the top.
Is
that's
it?
all I got. Yeah, that's all you sent me.
Oh, there we go. Okay. That was what I wanted to show. So when we run this back, I want to pause on Hunter a little bit right there. Okay. When you see him coming down this hill after the finish line, he jumps over to the left. He could have gone straight down this hill and then gone into that main deep rut. But look what he does. All these guys ride the edges of the track. You have to think about racing like geometry. What you want to do is make the straightest line possible around the track without making any harsh turns, meaning carrying as much speed in miles per hour around the turn. And what we see out of Hunter here, he lands on the edge where it's nice and smooth, and he starts to sweep in. Look at these main ruts. Why is he not going in these ruts? Why is he choosing to go to the inside here?
That's so
I'll tell you why.
Because he's on the smooth and he's not getting, dudes go in there and go bolt and bog the bike down. That's perfect.
Right. But look at how deep this rut is here, and look how soft it is, all these ruts. And he's going way inside of all these ruts. And here's the secret. He's riding just on this edge of this fluff. And what you need to do when you're on the racetrack is look for a little bit of fluff, or look for anywhere to have your wheels just hold a slightest bit, just so they don't break loose. And then once he is able to get through here, he catches the rut at the end to have an anchor point, and then he accelerates out of the turn. But he cuts off. Look how much of the track he cuts off. He makes a straight line, stays in the smooth parts of the track, and he doesn't get sucked up by these ruts and lose a lot of time. And as we continue this clip, Chris, watch what Jet does and watch what Deegs does later on. So they run back to Jet. He's taking one of the same lines to the inside, and he tucks in here. And now watch Deegs. Keep going because they don't show the inside part. So now look what he does in the mechanics area. Tucks it in. He could have easily taken one of those lines, but he tucks to the inside over that single. I want to pause it. Go a little right there. So he could have gone outside through those ruts. He could have gone to one of the other ruts on the left-hand side, but he's looking for the edge of the track. He's looking for anywhere to place his wheels where he can carry as much speed and momentum as possible. So as a racer, you always want to look for the edges of the track where the smooth lines are, and don't bury the bike in the rut. If you bury the bike, you're losing all that momentum and you're losing your fast lap time.
Well, and you look right here, you know, what you were talking about, what Hunter did, where you kind of drift and then catch it. That's what he does a little bit right here is he drops it right into that rut off the takeoff. Boom. Just like
As an anchor point. Like I said, he avoids the whole rut and then he goes to the end of it as an anchor point just to get through it. And that holds his wheels in place. So you'll see a lot of guys doing that, especially as the tracks start to deteriorate. So definitely be aware of that when you're racing.
how violent does it look when you pause it? Like, wow, this sport is gnarly, dude. So.
Yeah, no, it's sick. It's absolutely sick. But yeah, if you want to see more content like that, go over to Hammer Moto, subscribe over there, and you'll be seeing more breakdowns and videos over there like that.
Dude, that's good stuff. And I love the way you described that, because that is a tricky technique that you're talking about, because you don't, like, your mind doesn't think, oh, I'm going to get out of the rut. You want to go to the rut so it holds you. But the way you, like, is beautiful the way Hunter did that. And that's cool that you point that out, that little stuff. And that's part of the reason I just love having you on the show. And I love asking you about the riders, because you get it, man. And you really do see things from a different way. And guys, if you want to know riding, please head over there, help him out with the channel, subscribe, get that thing rolling.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And thanks. I always love breaking down stuff because there's always so much to learn in this sport. You know, we're watching the races, we're watching like, oh, this guy got this place and he finished here and this is going on. But when you go to a technique standpoint, you can improve so much by watching the top guys when you start to break it down and look at it from the right lens.
Yeah. All right. Ready for some listener questions?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's send it. Yeah, so back to Chase. Yeah, so CKY Moto says, did Chase like the KTM but not the people? And was he upset with the quality control of the bankrupt company, like his bike locking up, and plus their constant bike failures in MotoGP? Could he be on Tedder KTM? So this is kind of circling back to everything with Chase. And heads up, anyone who wants to listener question, drop a comment below, and you could be featured for our next week listener question segment. So what do you think, Chris? You wanna go out to bat with this one?
Chase did not like the people at KTM, at least in the end. He was upset with quality control, that bankrupt, and the little parts. Remember when his throttle stuck? Like, he was just, once again, just imploded. Could he be on Team Tedder KTM next year? That's a hard no. That's not happening.
Yeah, I don't see that either. There's no room over there with Webb, right?
Yeah, they already got Webb. And don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Webb has a say on if they do add people to the team. You know, some guys, like how Roxon has that over at Suzuki. Not that he would block anyone, but I think he could.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention too, I think Chase liked the KTM at times, but as we've seen from Chase, it seems like he's very hot and cold. He's ups and downs. When things are going well, he's happy, and the moment things get unraveled, he starts to unravel. So I don't know if it was just the bike or if it was Chase. So I'm leaning more towards Chase because that team, you know, has put in the results, and so has factory Honda.
Well, he's like a little kid, you know, they're so confident, and then they're riding the bike, and they tip over, and all of a sudden the bike's a piece of crap. Like, that's like, he's on a big level. You ever see a little kid that does that? They blame the bike and it just crashed, but it's not really like we all see. It's like you just crashed.
Right.
And then but it's like, he truly believes it's the bike, and it's just never going to be comfortable if you can't do that. So, okay, here we go. Oh, another one.
Yeah, there's always a lot of questions about Chase that gets brought up so much.
It's crazy seeing a guy at the top level like that just implode his career.
No, it's nuts too. Before we even get into this question, imagine what he's seeing on his end on social media. Like, Chase must be tormented.
Yeah, I hope his dad doesn't punch me.
I'm just saying though, like, there's so many people talking about. I mean, everyone has said something. But anyway, we'll get into this.
I've kind of defended him though, but I know his dad got mad at me. So
yeah, I mean, it's tough though, because as a dad, of course, he'd want to protect his son, but at the same time, you know, we got to look at it as as an analyst, be like, all right, this is what we see. This is what's going on. And anyway, Alan Brown says, how does Chase come back after Dan Fahey did a sarcastic interview saying the Kawasaki's fault the bike stalled, but because Chase didn't pull in the clutch? Multiple sources said Chase bike was sputtering all over the track. Garrett pointed to his engine late in Moto 2. Cowie needs to clean house and start over. And Hammered, I'm doubling down the Club MX bikes, ripping whole shots. And Yoder, I trust.
Yoder's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So my thoughts on this is, like we talked about, I don't like that he's having communication issues with the team manager. It's not like it's just anybody at the team, but if you have a problem with the manager, how far can that go? Who's essentially running, having the puppet strings like, all right, this person's doing that, this person's doing that, and overseeing everything that's happening at the team. And when you see what's happening with Dan Fahey, he's sticking up for the Kawasaki. He's not sticking up for Chase. And Chase is obviously feels his way about what happened. So they're not agreeing over it. And to come back together and to work together when there's disagreement and there's discord, that's the best word I would say, discord, it's not going to go too far. Like I said, I'd be very surprised if he stays on that Kawasaki, and I think it's time for him to make a move somewhere else if they take him somewhere else. But it's going to be a tall order for his agent this year. But what are your thoughts?
It just came to me, and I wasn't even thinking of that. But first off, Dan Fahey doing that, he's the team manager. This is not a racer. This is not a young kid. This is the guy that's supposed to be the voice of common sense. And for him to say what he said in that, sarcastic interview where, oh, the bike shouldn't shut off if you hit the brake with no clutch. Like, dude, come on, man. You can't do that. And he's got a history of pissing off riders and saying snide remarks like that. I think if I'm Kawasaki, if I'm his agent, I say, you know what? Let's bring in a different team manager. That'll give us a fresh look. And I would probably fire Dan Fahey because it's a history. This isn't just Chase. This was Prado. How many guys are we going to let Dan Fahey run off? And he's not protecting the bike. He's protecting what they did on the bike. He's not a cow. Like Dan Fahey's taken out. He's looking out for Dan Fahey. I didn't like it. He wasn't loyal to Kawasaki. He wasn't loyal to Chase. I just don't like it. And yes, his bike had some problems. A 450 should be able to tap the brake, even if the clutch wasn't in, just barely tap it, and that thing shouldn't just shut off.
I agree. And what I believe another listener dropped a question. I couldn't copy all of it. It was a lot, but he mentioned what you said, Chris. He said that Fahey had a lot of issues with a lot of other riders out there. Like when you look at what happened about people stepping away, like Jake Weimer, he talked about Ryan Villapoto about not adjusting the bike for him. He talked about Eli Tomac stepping away from Kawasaki because they wouldn't work on the bike with him. Like Jason Anderson, all the people that went through Kawasaki and left Kawasaki or had an issue with Kawasaki, there's a bigger issue at hand, like you were talking about.
And I'm not saying Chase Sexton's totally in the right because he has the same issue. It's not everybody else. And you got two people who both have blamed everybody else. And you pay millions of dollars. You can replace Dan Fahey. You are not going to find a rider as good as Chase Sexton out there. There's just not one. Unless you can afford to rehire Hunter away from Honda or something. You're not getting a guy that can win. Their best bet is to, go back. I think if they replace Dan Fahey with somebody that Chase gets along with, bring in his guy, like they do that for like a quarterback in football. They can bring in their guy. John Elway got rid of Dan Reeves and got his guy and Mike Shanahan. They won Super Bowls. Right. Maybe you talk to Chase, and that's, Kawasaki 2.0 with Chase is he gets a new guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, something's got to give over there. I mean, thank God for Garrett over there, holding it down, right?
He saved that brand.
At least he's doing good and crushing it over there. So, it's been tough over there for Cowie for sure. Freebird said down there, could Jet win on a Cowie?
Yes.
I think I'd say no right now.
Jet could win. Jet, maybe not this year, but when he's healthy, Jet could win on a Cowie, a Ducati, a Zero. I mean, you pick it, he can win.
I'd say not until next gen. Maybe he's got to get the next gen right because no one's really been able to perform on this Cowie besides Garrett. I mean, look at Jason Anderson walking away. Look at Adam Cincerello had problems. You know, it's been tough. Prado, anyone who hopped on this new machine hasn't done well.
Jet would. I'm just telling you, Jet's a freak of nature, and he could get it done. Now, anyone else? Probably not. All right, let's get our picks here. We tallied up our points, and I believe you got a 1-point lead on me. I have to double check, but let's see, 250s or 450s. Do you want to go first, and or should we go second? What do you want?
I'll go second. I'll let you pick
Okay.
first since I got the
250s.
lead.
Yeah, you got the red plate. You get to choose. All right, I'm going with Joe Shimoda. I don't know how you don't take Joe after what he did there last year. He got a week off. I mean, he's already got a win. He hasn't had a moto win yet. He is going to be dominant. I think Cole Davies is going to be good. He might even get a moto win, but I don't see him holding off Joe the entire time. But like I said, we're going to really find out if he can. They're all in trouble, but I don't think he will. So I got Davies in second, and Levi Kitchen will do what Levi does there, and he's going to go 1-9 or 9-1 or 7-1 and end up third.
That's a good pick. You stole my podium. That was a good podium. I'm gonna put Joe to win as well. He rode so well last year. I can't change that. So definitely putting Joe to win. And then second place. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know what? I would put Cole second, but you did it, so I'm not gonna do that.
You can do it. We'll do the tiebreaker. We'll make our side bet worth 3 points. So we can do the same. If that's what you really want, then stay with it. But we'll do a side bet for 3 points. I got Ryder D finishing ahead of both Dudney but you got to give me some odds since you get 2 guys and I get 1. He's going to be ahead of Minier and Dudney. And so if he does, I get 5 points. And if he doesn't, you get 3. How's that? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I'll take that.
You get 2 guys. I got 1.
I'll take those odds.
Okay.
I'll take those odds. That's a fair side bet. Yeah. And then for the podium, like I said, I gotta stick to the same with you. I see Kitchen doing I can't unsee it. Like Kitchen doing the same thing and Davies being second there. But I'll go, you know what? I might go first for 450. So people don't think
it's gonna be the same. I already know it doesn't take rocket science to figure we're gonna have the same one there too.
Yeah. Well, I'm putting Jet to win. I just can't see anyone beating Jet there. He's just absolutely flies at RedBud, especially after what we saw last year from going 18th place to first. So yeah, I got to put him first place. Second place, my heart wants to say Deegan, but I gotta say Hunter for second, just because these guys have been 1-2 pretty much every round, so it's hard to bet against him. So I'm gonna do that, and then for third place, I'm gonna do Deegan because I just see him getting closer and closer. And I don't know what I could have put Prado there for third, but Prado, I like I said, I'm on board with him having to get a great round in this round. But again, he has a mind of his own. If he wants to, be out there, or if he wants to take it easy, I don't know. We're gonna get Jorge. We're gonna get George. It's just
we're getting George.
Yeah, so that's what I have to see. What do you got for 450?
I had the exact same thing.
Yeah, we need a side
bet. I did it earlier.
We might need a side bet then for 450.
Well, that's what I said. We got AP versus Prado for 3 points. How's that? Straight up.
That's fair. I got
AP.
Prado.
You got Prado.
I got Prado. That's fair.
Or should you say he's been riding like Prada, as James Stewart likes to say? I laugh every time. Jorge Prada, like the bag.
No, for real. Yeah. No, I see Rufio banning down there. No, I feel the same. It could go either way. But yeah, this is good. We should do more side bets because as the races go on, sometimes it's like, all right, these are the guys that are going to be in the top, top 3, top 4, top 5. It gets a little repetitive. So
100%. And if you got any, throw them out there. But yeah, we got side bets. When it gets predictable in the top 3, we'll throw side bets.
How many points are we going to do for the Prado versus AP 1v1?
Prado versus AP is straight 3 points.
3 points.
The other one is 5 for me, 3 for you.
Okay.
So if Ryder gets, because it's going against 2 guys, so I need a little odds.
Yeah, that's all right. Even though your guy has the XP, and technically,
well, you know what? We can go even 3 if you don't want it. We can go straight 3 on both side bet. How about that? Well, that'll be easy. Let's go straight 3 points on both side bets. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident. In
You're
riding.
confident on your boy.
I am. I was just trying to milk you for a little odds because I am behind.
Got the points lead. Yeah. Trying to do some AMA penalties over here. How can I?
AMA rules over here. So, okay. All right, brother. Hey, anything you want to get off your chest? And I want to remind people to head over to, what's the exact name of your channel again?
Hammer Moto. So I dropped a comment below here, and if you want to see more breakdowns, more stuff about moto, I just got a channel going, so I'm going to be adding more content to it. I got to work on the volume game, so I got a lot of irons in the fire here because I work full time as a firefighter, and then I also do music full time in ministry. So, but anyway, I love motocross so much, so go over there if you want to see more content. I'm going to be adding more. Subscribe, it really helps me out, and anything else that you want to cover as well.
No, I just want to say happy 4th of July to everybody. Have fun. Be safe.
Be safe.
Keep your head on a swivel. There's lots of crazy stuff in politics right now. If you want to talk about that, go to my other channel. But just keep your head on a swivel. We don't need a false flag or anything. So just be careful, have fun, and happy birthday, America.
Be careful, too, with some fireworks because, like I said, as a first responder, I got a lot of medical calls, and a lot of people get injured this weekend. So definitely be careful. That's all I'm saying with the fireworks and all that. You know, it could get kind of crazy out there. But yeah, again, appreciate everyone watching the show, supporting. If you haven't already, like this, subscribe to Cooksy. It's awesome being a part of it, and we'll be following up next week for next week's show.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Later.
Holy Ghost Boys.
I've been running down this street. It's been so hard to breathe. I've been feeling all this weight. It's been stuck in my brain. I've been drowning for so long. My skin's numb, can't hold on. Turn so blue, my hope feels gone. Can you feel my pain? I am bleeding out. Will you watch me drain? My eyes are closing. Can you feel my pain? I can't feel my pain. I feel the flames, they stay the same. I might go insane. Everything feel like a race and nobody's safe. I'm hoping I don't get erased. They watching me bleed and look at my face. I'm wicked, it written right off of the page. I feel like I might get lost, running in circles. I'm searching for something bigger than what I can see in the mirror, but I don't see nothing but pain and the fear. I've been drowning for so long. My skin's numb.